Conservatives in Canada are carrying a lot of momentum on multiple levels. Socially, there is an awakening to the weakening of our fundamental rights, which has been going on with few taking notice. This awakening was catalyzed in no small part by clinical psychologist and University of Toronto professor of psychology, Dr. Jordan Peterson. Peterson voiced his opposition to Bill C-16, which he rightly characterized as a compelled speech law imposed by government fiat. This infringement on freedom of speech was unprecedented, but the majority of Canadians would never have known it was happening if not for Peterson sounding the alarm. The rise of Peterson's popularity and his well-articulated support of free speech has helped to make this a key issue for a large number of Canadians, particularly the younger generations, bringing to light the erosion of the freedoms often taken for granted. So much is known about the First Amendment in the American Constitution, but little appears to be known by most Canadians about what freedom is entailed in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. With interest and discourse about free speech at an all-time high, a conservative movement has picked up steam across Canada prior to the rise of Peterson. In early 2016, driven largely by apathy and the need for change, Manitoba overwhelmingly elected a conservative majority, unseating the left-wing NDP, who held power for nearly 17 years. On June 7, 2018, the same happened in Ontario, with the Progressive Conservative Party winning a large majority, sending the Liberal Party not only out of power, but out of official party status, with the fringe NDP becoming the official opposition. This victory for Conservatives is significant as Ontario is Canada's most populous province, who voted overwhelmingly Liberal in the 2015 federal election. Alberta, which is largely seen as Canada's most conservative province, has had an NDP government since 2015, with a provincial election due for early 2019. The new United Conservative Party is projected to win a majority if the polling trends continue. On May 27, 2017, Andrew Scheer became the new leader of the Federal Conservative Party, narrowly beating out rival Maxime Bernier. Scheer has since been promoting what he calls a positive conservative vision, but he appears to be light on details of what this vision would entail. He touts lower taxes, less regulation for small businesses, and putting hard-working families first. But these are platitudes spouted by most politicians. As such, these promises are generally assumed regarding the Conservative Party, no different than what former Prime Minister Stephen Harper touted in the last election that ended his long run. So what are Scheer's Conservatives going to do to tap into the growing conservative movement, especially in the younger generations? Scheer seems particularly adverse to ruffling feathers, trying his best to get on the good side of the mainstream media. Naive as this is, the real damage comes in the form of ignoring those helping to propel conservatism in Canada in the first place. The largest independent news organization in Canada, Rebel Media, is actively shunned by Scheer's Conservatives. Members urged not to talk to Rebel reporters and barring them from the venue at the recent Conservative Party convention in Halifax, all for fear of the mainstream media's smear campaign should the Rebel be allowed to report. As a self-proclaimed champion of free speech, Scheer has an odd way of showing it, especially to the one outlet that covers the Conservative Party fairly. Another absence in the Conservative Party rhetoric is any emphasis on the issues brought up by Jordan Peterson. There is no Canadian academic more popular than Dr. Peterson. His public appearances, YouTube lectures, and books have helped to create a cultural shift that has certainly fueled the Canadian conservative movement. But Scheer's Conservatives have so far remained on course with their diet liberal persona, while ignoring the majority of their base. With the Conservative Party's eyes fixated on the media and away from any potential controversy, they fail to read the room that is behind them. But how long before supporters realize that Scheer is talking past them and to the cameras? The first casualty of this neglect is Conservative Member of Parliament Maxime Bernier, who recently left the Conservatives due to this very lack of self-awareness that has permeated the party. Who exactly is the Conservative Party talking to, and what will they do when the mainstream media inevitably turn on them come election time? Maxime Bernier is a canary in the coal mine.